Hello everybody, my name is Godfrey, and Pokemon get forms. Some might say they get too many, but some are left in the cold dark, forgotten and untouched, left into the darkness and the void that is forgettability. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to give 15 Pokemon I want to get something, excluding Mega Evolution, as I have a video all about that you can go watch later. Starting with number 15, Beartic. Okay, so it's one of those Gen 5 Pokemon that isn't a direct copy of Gen 1, but still is pretty forgettable. Pure Ice isn't that bad of typing, but it could be a lot better. So I'm suggesting it gets an evolution that turns it into an Ice Normal type, giving us our first Ice Normal type in the series, but also Ice Normal isn't that bad of an ability. Sure, it gains a 4 times weakness, but it gets an immunity to Ghosts, which I think can be good. Also, its abilities aren't very good. Slush Rush and Swift Swim are like specifically really bad for what I'm going to do with its stats. I'm thinking of a more bulky physical attacker that would be really slow and not especially good, but it would become really good if you were to use like an Ice Fan, Ice Punch, Slash, Close Combat, really any move that you could think of that would make it. Also, I'm changing its abilities to Thick Fan, so its fire type weakness can turn into become neutral. Then Iron Fist, because Beartic learns of like a good chunk of punching moves. And then Fur Coat, so fighting type moves won't hurt a little bit less unless they're using special fighting type moves. Number 14 is Yanmega. I'm giving it an evolution and turning it into the Bug Dragon type we have been deserving since it came out. It's literally a dragonfly. Also, I checked its stat spread and it's so weird. It has okay special attack and good speed, but then everything else is pretty bad. So I'm changing it into this, leaning more on speed and special attack. Also, I'm realizing that Bug Dragon isn't very good defensive typing. Also, its abilities are good, okay, then garbage. So I'm keeping speed boost, obviously, and I'm giving it levitate so it can keep one of its flying type immunities whilst not being flying type. I'm making a new ability for it that I'm going to call Draconic Veil. The user takes neutral damage from dragon and fairy and flying type moves. Next is number 13, Dragapult. Now it's okay, so it's Dex and talk about how Dreepy used to live as a water type Pokemon. They used to live in the seas, hunts Pokemon that doesn't even eat anymore. So I'm just wanting to see what it would be like back then. Making it a water dragon type, obviously, because it's no longer dead. But Clear Body and Infiltrator, I think, still work as good abilities for it. But the thing I'm going to change is Cursed Body as a hidden ability, as it actually doesn't really make sense for a non-dead Pokemon. So I think Tough Claws will be better, making it more physical. Next is number 12, and I'm picking Fearow. Think about a conversion Fearow evolution. Call it Sparko and whatever else. Maybe even making it a Fire Dark type can really show off that nasty nature it's getting. Intimidate because again, it's a jerk and would scare weaker Pokemon than it. Moxie because of its bad attitude, and Anger Point because of course if it hit a critical hit, it's going to become super mad and then boost all of its attack. Number 11 is Skarmory. Now, I was going to make an evolution, but Mega Skarmory ruined that, so I'm deciding to make it giving it pre-evolution. Because, and I know that sounds pretty counterintuitive, why would we want to make a Pokemon weaker? But if you really think about it, Skarmory's always found super late, and I think this makes it more open. I could just really lower its stats by a little bit, making it on the level of like our first stage starter. Also, Corviknight has easily outclassed it as a flying steel type, like across the board. So I think giving it, but it doesn't get that until it's the last stage. So I think that giving Skarmory a pre-evolution makes it as a good flying steel type until you get able to get Corviknight. Making it so that Skarmory can be an early game mon, meaning a Pokemon that won't overdraft you can use until you get a Corviknight and then eventually replace it. But unless you want to keep it so you can use Mega Evolution, meaning that you now have a strong Pokemon that you've had since the beginning. Number 10, I'm going to be picking Claydol. Now Claydol is a very forgettable Pokemon and also has these very okay stats. It's pretty good defensively and that's really it. It's a mixed attacker which can be good, so I'm going to give it an evolution, but I can keep the Levitate ability as only ability. And of course, having Psychic Ground isn't very good typing, but making it fleeting on that defense, making even more, but making it way better at physical, at special defense is way better. Next is cast form for number 9. Now this certain man that you see on screen right now has caused me to have a very strong attachment to cast form. So I think, and since it's very garbage but its concept is super cool, having 70 in each stat makes it really good at everything and bad at the same time. So it doesn't really have anything it can rely on to make it really good. So I think that giving it a gender split evolution would be the best course. So you can pick out what you want to go, either really fast or really defensive. Also, I looked at cast form's move set and it learns basically no physical moves. It's mostly all special, which really does go to show that I feel like they were trying to go with something here with the weather changing mechanic that would also mean that cast form wouldn't be complete garbage. So that's why they gave everything a 70, but I still feel like they made it a lot worse. So with that said, I feel like changing it into some sort of weatherman or weather girl would be better. So the male form could be focused on defense and still be a special attacker, while the female can be focused more on speed. And yeah, I know 174 special attack is insane, but again, don't worry about it. Number 8 is Cinccino. Okay, its abilities are really good for a Pokemon this week. Cute Charm is pretty worthless, but Technician and Skill Link can turn moves such as its signature move Tail Slap to really powerful. And since chinchillas are known to have dust baths, I think making it something along the lines of a ground type would be better. As a small and cute Pokemon, Fairy Ground seems pretty reasonable, making it our first Fairy Ground type that we would ever have. That also, Fairy Ground type is a pretty good defensive typing, but Cute Charm again isn't very useful for Cinccino at all. So I feel like changing it to a new ability that I call Mud Mane. The user cannot be affected by status and entry hazards. If one is active, the opponent's speed is lowered, so it punishes people who are trying to stop Stealth Rock, Spikes, Toxic Spikes and whatnot. Number 7 is Golduck, and by Golduck I'm talking about Psyduck. Everyone loves Psyduck. It has so much merch on PokemonCenter.com that's only the first slide I'm recording right now because I started to glitch, so I had to stop that before my device exploded. But anyways, and then Slowpoke gets all this special treatment: Megas, a new evolution, regional forms. What's this? So turning it into the rightful type it should have been, Water Psychic, due to all its psychic ability, and having Psy in its name would make it much better. Turning it into a physical attacking psychic type can be risky, but I feel like making it fast and physically strong, but also making it weak, especially inept, it makes it a very balanced. Not great defenses, having 60 and 80, and also its HP isn't anything crazy, but again, I feel like the special attack and speed can work for it on its own. Damn Cloud9 and Swift Swim as abilities aren't very bad, but they're not exactly the ideal that I think I can go with. I think changing all of them will be a bit overkill, but I was thinking of what I could use. Swift Swim can be good because of its speed, I've made it. But again, Damp is super situational, and Cloud9 is very weak compared to what I'm going for. Sharpness is something I think could go. Giving it Aqua Cutter, Air Slash, Night Slash, Air Relace, and Cycle Cut could make it not only have great stab moves that would be boosted by stab, again also by sharpness. Water Veil just there to prevent it being burned, keeping the same kind of Cloud9 identity, but also not making it anything crazy. Number 6 is Sunflora. A terrible stat spread, and its moveset isn't anything to write home about, only having grass and normal moves. And Sunkern, its pre-evolution, is literally one of the top 5 worst Pokemon with a base stat of not going over 200. So making it a grass fire type, because again it's a sunflower, obviously it wouldn't make sense to have the fire typing. So one of our sun Pokemon, I think the only sun Pokemon, could actually be a fire type. Making it special monster while also making it more defensive and having better speed can work for ability I'm going to give it. I want to make Sunflora, this new evolution, immensely broken. I'm talking it should be able to just sit there on the field and ruin your day whenever you see it. Because Chlorophyll and Soul Power are super good, but they suck for this Pokemon because again, Sunflora isn't very good. Also, Early Bird is pretty useless. So Chlorophyll, with that 114 speed I gave it, makes it just a special sweeper if you do it right. Then you also have stuff like Solar Power. Solar Power Solar Beam is under the sun is insane to me. It can stop fast water type sweepers like Basculegion, Dracovish, and others like that. Oh, just insanely quickly. Early Bird again is super duper useless, so switching out for a new ability that I feel would be better for it, I think Contrary would be better, because it learns Leaf Storm at its final level up move, so I feel like making Leaf Storm boost its best attack and not lower it would be better. Number 5 is Parasect. Now, its typing is insanely bad. 2 4-times weaknesses and then 4 other weaknesses is insane to me. And its resistances barely come into play because just use any other move. No one is weak. Also, it's weak to one of its own types, which is depressing to me. So I feel giving it a split evolution would be the best course of action. So here's one where the plant takes over, becoming a grass ghost type because the bug is now fully dead. Grass Ghost is a much better defensive typing, as you can see with Pumpkaboo and Trevenant, but making it a more physical attacking, because it already is a pretty good physical attacker, and giving it better speed can make it an actually good Spore user, because it was a signature move at one point, because there's a way better like Amoonguss and Breloom that just stole the move and made it way better for them. I feel like Effect, Spore, Dry Skin, and Damp are pretty okay abilities, but I feel like Damp as a hidden ability is very good. So here's a new one I made called Malignant Spores. If a Pokemon makes contact, they have a 30% chance of being poisoned and having their speed lowered by 1 stage at the same time. Again, making it as if it's some sort of parasite that will jump onto you if you attack it. Next is if the bug lives and transforms the mushroom into its new power source, becoming a bug fairy type. Like making it like Rabombi, a nice tale of what happens if you take something that's bad for you and make it a strength instead. I decided to make it more special attacking and lower its physical attack, making it special defense height of its speed, and its HP staying at 76. I feel like wouldn't make that much of a difference. And also give it a new hidden ability, Fungal Field. When you use it into the battle, it creates a field that protects it and its allies from status effects and boosts speed by 2 stages. Again, a more supportive Pokemon. Now it's time for number 4, Noivern. Now this is a Pokemon that you expect to be better. Good speed, okay special attack, and pretty mediocre stats across the board, but a 4-times weakness to ice. I feel like I can make it either a Fruit Bat, I make it Dragon Grass, or make it some sort of cold climate Wyvern, so Dragon Ice. I picked Dragon Ice because it's much better typing, apparently, to Dragon Grass, having much less weaknesses. So making it a Dragon Ice type, I feel like it'd still be pretty cool ideas. Making it more fuzzy, making it look cool, pun very much intended. But not only that, I feel like its abilities that I checked are some of the most situational and not good abilities, like genuinely I've ever seen. And it's so mediocre for a Pokemon that I feel like deserves a lot better. Frisk, again, is garbage. Infiltrator is good, but not good for Noivern, And Telepathy, if you're not in a double battle or a triple battle, you just don't have an ability. So I'm thinking of it, to replace it is Mega Glade's signature ability, Refrigerate. Think of Ice-type Boom Burst, guys. Or just think about Ice-type Echoed Voice. That's what I'm trying to go for. A move that you can just dominate foes with. Just absolutely destroy them. Next, I'm going to make a new ability for it called Echolocation. Moves will always hit even plus substitute and evasion boosts, which I feel like is a pretty good competitive ability that can replace its lost telepathy ability. Next is number 3 and 2, Nidoqueen and Nidoking, 1996. 30 years they've been on this earth and nothing. Hell, I even used it in the intro as an example of 2 Pokemon are being forgotten. Remember that part that you didn't skip over and you subscribed as well and liked, because you did do all that? I think Poison Steel would be good, making it our first Poison Steel type. it's a pretty okay defensive typing, but being part steel just makes it so much better and removes so many of Poison's weaknesses. Also, there you can really tell this was made in Gen 3 ability, because Poison Point Rivalry and Sheer Force aren't very good. So I think Earth Eater is much better, removing one of its 4 times weaknesses and just making it, gaining it HP. We can keep Sheer Force, by the way. I feel like that's okay enough for Pokemon that are physically oriented. Next is Corrosion, so you can poison moves against steel types, which I feel like just makes them so much better. Making sure that Poison Sight is still showing off. Next is number 1, Grapploct. It's too weak to use physical moves, not defensive enough to survive attacks, and too slow to be good in Trick Room. So all it does is just stay there on the field, looking all nice and pretty, and then dying, which is true because design is really good. Then you see its typing, and Pure Fighting isn't bad typing, but you don't gain anything from it either. All the types it's good against don't really do anything. So I'm thinking of changing it to a Fighting Water type evolution that it should have always been Fighting Water type, by the way, because Clobbopus and Grapploct both have dex entries talking about how they come to land for food, come out of the water to fight opponents. You find them in the water in the games they appear in. Also, if Rapid Strike Urshifu has taught us anything, Grass Water is a great typing, great defensively, and also gaining 2 more weaknesses doesn't matter, as you're still super strong to deal. Also, water types like Golisopod talk about them having underwater fights, which is just insane to me. Limber and Ignition are really bad abilities from Grapploct. Limber is just not very good, not being paralyzed. Not being paralyzed doesn't do much for it, and Ignition doesn't work for Pokemon that's always relied on stronger moves like close combat. So I feel like making it more physically oriented and making it defensive. And now it's still not able to be effective in Trick Room. It is still something you could consider, and special attack being lowered won't really matter. I'm changing its abilities to Unaware, because getting past heavy steel type defenses, or just any Pokemon trying to boost the defense to get out of its range, just won't work. Which I feel like might be a bit busted with its over 100 attack stat, but like, it should be fine. Next is Guts, so that if it gets burnt at any time, it can still destroy anything else. And Water Absorb, just because I had to pick another one. So anyways, that's what I did. That's what on my list. Show me yours in the comments. And with that, all that said, stay in the green Butterfree flock.